So on this trip, I was part of the parks team. Out in Curtin, the first project I worked on was rebuilding the timber deck. So the existing deck was kind of rotting away and it was pretty unsafe, so we took half of it apart and then put new posts in and redid the framing underneath, and then we installed the decking boards. The second project in Curtin was the outdoor kitchen shelter. So that was an 8x8 metre timber structure with a tin roof, and then we also managed to make some pellet furniture and do some paving.
In Curtin, my group built an outdoor kitchen. We had about 7 or 8 people working on it each day, and we finished it on the last day, on the 6th day. We were a group of pretty unexperienced construction workers, so we had to figure out the design and plan ourselves until Jake got there just probably a few days in.
Things heavy. All right, you ready, Will?
Yep.
Lift. Okay, boys, get up there with William. Get up there with William. Yep, that's okay. I got it. I got it.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophie, and recently I joined the Blue Sky Practicum where we spent 4 weeks in Mongolia. So the first part of the trip was in Curtin. We were volunteering at the Lotus Children's Center, and me and our team, we worked on the interior of the coffee shop, which was a recycled shipping container. We treated the wall and painted everything white just in time for their 30-year anniversary.
In Tunku, I was part of the team that made the truck in the playground. So our idea was to make the cabin of the truck for kids to climb into, and then have the tray as a sandpit for the kids to play in.
In Tongko, the second part of the trip, we were working on the community playground and continued the work from the previous year. We built a climbing wall, which each side a different challenge for the kids, like a rock climbing wall and steps made from recycled tire.
After this, just on the last day of the project, we managed to also finish a volleyball court, and it was rewarding because as soon as we finished both the projects, the kids went to them straight away.
In Tunku, I was required to work on the playground that was already existing there, so myself and a few others worked on building a little timber train, which pretty much just involved doing a little design first, then using the power tools we had to just cut some timber and put together a little timber train, and then when that was finished, it was kind of just going around and helping anyone else with their projects. Each day just kind of looked like getting there, cutting the timber we needed, and using the driver and the drill to put stuff together.
So my favourite memory from Tunku was the 3-hour horse riding activity, and that was something that I was looking forward to as soon as I found out that we're going to Mongolia. I just thought it was incredible to see the Mongolian landscape on horseback. And just knowing that horses were such a huge part of the traditional Mongolian lifestyle, it was quite cool to experience part of it. In Curtin, my favourite memory was delivering the outdoor kitchen shelter. So that was quite big of a project, and it was a little bit more technical than a few of the others. but the team that was working on it was great. There was a lot of jokes and a lot of banter along the way, and it was very satisfying to be able to hand that over to the orphanage at the end.
Who's the man?
One more.
At both of the places we were staying at, my favourite part would have been the kids. They were always so happy to see us. And there was one particular moment when we told the kids at the park that it was our last day. Then the next day we decided to come once more, just a bit later in the day. And then when we got there, they came over, they ran over to us and gave us a huge hug.
Hi, my name is William, and the 2025 Curtin Practicum to Mongolia is my second trip to Mongolia. I first went to Mongolia in 2023 on the same practicum, and I loved the experience. What draws me to Mongolia specifically is their unique culture and way of life. It's very interesting visiting the regional areas and seeing how a large proportion of their population still lives a semi-traditional life. One of my favourite memories from this trip was when we visited the local nomadic family in Tunku. While we visited this family, we witnessed a traditional way of butchering a sheep, which was fascinating. Another fun memory of mine was revisiting the work that I did at Tunku Park and talking to a few children that I met in 2023. The volunteer work that we do for the community is very rewarding, and this practicum is something that I would recommend to anyone who wants to experience a unique way of life.
So for me, the biggest takeaway from all the construction work that we did on this trip would be that you can't just design things based on theories that you've learnt in the classroom. You really got to assess the materials and the conditions that you're working in as well. So for example, the timber that we were using was all untreated and the quality was quite inconsistent. Because of that, we had to really over-engineer our projects to increase their durability and safety. An example of this is we added a lot more bracing and restraints when we made the deck and the outdoor cooking shelter than say if we were making the same structure out here in Australia. And yeah, so that was quite good exposure and a lesson that you always got to see what you're working with before you design it.
Some of the biggest challenge for me personally was when I was working as a money controller in Tunku. Procurement in rural Mongolia was not straightforward, I would say. We faced language barrier, cultural differences, and had a very limited supply. But we were very lucky to have Sodo and Anu, our Mongolian students, who helped us with translation and making sure that we had all of the material we needed for the project. Overall, I appreciate that the trip has made me more open-minded and adaptable. I also appreciate getting to learn and live in another culture, and all of the friends and connection I made and the memories I had, which I will always remember. Thank you.
Going to do what, yeah? Get out of the video.
Boys, mate.
It's 10:27 a.m. in Tunku. I'm standing with the four who did the least amount of work. I just want to know, Daniel, what do we think about digging holes?
It's alright. It was good here. Over there's a lot of rocks, but this one was alright. The only problem we encountered, there was a big boulder on the other side.
Yep.
So we had to move it across this way a little bit.
Sophie, any comments?
It was fun watching them digging the hole.
I think Argon will say the same thing. Moise?
As a site supervisor, I reckon these two labourers did a great job. I reckon they should get a pay bump for the work they've put in.
It's unpaid work, brother.
But the work needs to be paid for. I reckon Argon put in the time.
Nah, all right. Tell me, Argon, what do we think? I know you did a lot of digging, bro. Come on.
As someone who doesn't get the credit that it deserves. Facts. I put so much sweat and work into this, making this possible.
Yeah.
And then the locals used it right after.
Just don't kick it
Success.
too hard, otherwise it might fall out, but
All right, we appreciate your work, everyone. Thank you.
Give him a round of applause.
All right, we'll start here. Soda, what do we think of working with your fellow Australians?
It was quite nice because Australian people are quite straightforward and easy to understand. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do Australians work hard, do you think?
Yeah, they work hard work.
Thank you. We enjoyed working with you as well, Soda. Anu?
I had like the most fun here now. It's like it has been really fun.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
All right, no worries.
Do Australians work hard?
Yes, my teammates worked hard.
And what do you think about horse riding?
Very great. I want to do it again.
What did you think of the lecturer in charge of the whole operation? Any final comments on him?
Hey, it's not fair to talk about Steve.